Welcome to the 60 Plus podcast.
I'm Janet.
And I'm Joe. How are you today, Janet?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, just pretty good.
Okay. Did
Well,
you
I'm good.
elaborate?
You know what? I have to tell you, I had a little spell this morning.
Oh no, what happened?
Yeah, I missed my bottom step.
How did you do
I
that?
I was going too fast
Were you,
and
were
trying
you
to do too
hurrying to get to the
much.
studio?
I was rushing over here and I just like totally missed the bottom step.
Are you okay?
Yeah,
All right.
luckily, I was lucky. I went flying and
So we don't need
somehow
you at the orthopedic guy like I was last week.
I know. I'm like, oh no, it's going to be the two of us. I think one leg is longer than the other now. I went sliding like into home base. And just luckily, instead of like jarring and breaking my wrist or whatever, I just kind of slid across the hardwood floor and
Okay.
I'm good. I'm safe.
You need a Tylenol?
No, I don't need a Tylenol. But,
Okay.
it just was a reminder. I got to slow down. I'm trying to do too much and trying to jam it all in. And it's just crazy.
Well, I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah, thanks.
All
So
right.
anyway,
So what are we talking about today, Janet?
well, today we have a real talk episode, which we haven't done in a long time, and Kim is with us. Woo!
Welcome, Kim.
Thank you. Good to see you, Joe and Janet.
Same here. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
Now, Janet, did you explain to Kim what Real Talk episodes
Well,
are?
it's good to remind everybody, Joe. So why don't you take it away?
Well, we have people that are 60 plus come in and we ask them 10 questions, which are pretty standard. We vary a little bit once in a while. I think the last Real Talk we did was with you
That's right, for my
for your
birthday.
birthday.
And excuse me, but don't you have a birthday coming up?
I don't think so. No,
Yeah,
I have
I
no,
thi-
I
I
don't have
believe
any
you
more
do.
birthdays. I'm
So we may
stuck
be
right
doing
where I am.
another real talk very soon.
Oh,
Yeah.
geez. Okay. All right. So we asked them 10 questions, and you don't know what the questions are. I don't think.
Mhm.
Janet didn't clue you in.
No,
Okay.
unfortunately, I was asking.
And Janet kept it a secret. This isn't one of the 10 questions, but you have to admit that you're at least 60 years old.
Oh, do I have to?
Yes, you do.
All right, all right. I'm at least 60. We'll leave it
least
at that.
60. Okay. All right. So you qualify as a Real Talk guest.
Yay.
First question. When you turn 60, we've established that you are at least 60. Did you celebrate? And if so, how?
I did not. I think 60. 50 was different. 60, I don't know. I wasn't in the mood to celebrate. I really wasn't. It may have just been where I was in life at that time. But I think when you hit 60, you start really looking at life very differently.
How so?
You're much closer to the end. I know
Oh,
that may
no.
be.
Oh, boo.
I know, but it's true.
It is true. It is true. I guess I find at 60, I'm kind of in the middle. My children are grown, but my mother is in an assisted living. So not trying to be, sad or dark, but it just kind of puts you in a position where you have to really start saying, okay, what do I want to do for the rest of my life?
Mhm.
And how am I going to
agree.
live it?
Absolutely. And this is like one of the reasons why we wanted to do this podcast because there's two ways to look at it. It's like, oh gosh, 60, this is it, I'm done, whatever. Or, oh gosh, 60, TikTok, let's do this, right? Whatever dreams I had, I'm going for them now. So I don't want to turn to myself at the end and go, oh, you shoulda, woulda.
Yeah, it's when we start creating the bucket list.
We're going to get to that.
Oh,
We
oh,
will be
okay.
getting
so,
to that.
so let's not jump ahead to that.
Yeah.
All right.
yeah.
So you didn't celebrate on your next birthday, whatever number that happens to be.
Mhm.
Will you celebrate?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Any ideas?
Yeah, it's actually planned. My daughter Devin and her husband Cole are throwing me a retirement party.
Oh,
Boy,
very
does that give
nice.
my age away or what?
Not really.
Okay, I'm retiring early.
Yeah.
Very
I
early.
have friends that retired in their 40s. So
Yeah, that
yeah.
would be nice.
Yeah, well, it's not all it's cracked up to be sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that's great. You're retiring. So we'll have to talk a little bit more about that.
hmm
So when you think about, and you kind of already intimated about this a little bit, how do you feel about being 60 plus?
I'm actually very excited for the next chapter in my life because I've been working for over 40 years,
Mhm.
and I don't want to work that hard anymore. I really want to do the things that I enjoy, that I love to write, I love to read, I love to bike ride and kayak, and I want more time. I want more time to do all of that.
Mhm.
Because when you're working so hard, you don't always find that time.
It's true. And I've always said to my kids, you have to do the things that you have to do before the things that you want to do. And I don't know if you were a commuter, but commuting to work, getting ready for work, spending time in the office, bringing work home frequently, all of that stuff takes up time. And you still need your sleep, and you still need to do the grocery shopping and do all those errands. And there's only so many hours in the day.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. What do you like most and also least about being 60 plus?
I guess at 60 I have experience. You know, I can look back and say, wow, I've done that. I traveled. I have a granddaughter now. That's exciting.
Congratulations.
Thank
How old
you.
is she?
Thank you. She just turned 6 months.
Oh, wow.
Aw.
Yeah, and I've watched my kids grow up to be smart, savvy, successful,
Are they
and
local?
no,
Mine
unfortunately.
neither.
Well, I have one in Boston, one in Minnesota, one in St. Louis, and one in Connecticut. Three step boys, and then my daughter.
Okay.
So one is local. But even though she's local, she used to tell me when I moved closer here, she said, oh, I'm going to come for Sunday dinner every Sunday. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I have two daughters and they both live away. They're both grown. Somebody asked me, would I ever consider moving to where one of them are located? And I said, I don't think so. Because first, there's nothing saying that they're going to live there forever. And second, if I move there, then I have to build a whole other life outside of their experience because I don't want to be the guy just like hanging around my
At the
kids all the time.
doorstep.
Right? It's like, right? I've lived where I live now for 27 years. I've never lived more than 30 miles from where I live right now. And that's where my life is.
Yeah.
So although I don't like them living away, I do have my life.
Yeah. I actually know people who have gone and moved to where their children are,
Me
and then
too.
they move again, and then
Mhm.
they're moving again, and then and so on and so forth. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of a
I agree. I do have friends that have done the same thing, but it took me, years to really find the place that I wanted to live the rest of my life, to grow old, and I have no desire. I mean, travel, absolutely.
Sure, yeah.
Mhm.
I would travel in a heartbeat. Jen and I talked about that. I, want to go back to Italy and for a month or two. I think live where you want to live and where your network is.
So for your retirement party, my daughter got
Mhm.
married last fall, and they had their online gift registry, right?
Hmm.
You should have an online gift registry for your retirement party, and people can contribute to your Italy fund.
Oh, I like
Oh.
that idea. I like that idea.
Why not? That's a good idea, Joe.
I think so. Okay, so that's what you like most. What do you like least about being 60 plus?
I've been married and divorced twice. So I do think that that's probably the biggest challenge in my life right now, is trying to find that partner that will live,
Yeah.
out the rest of my life with me somehow. And that may not be what I'm even looking for, but that's probably what I like the least of this age.
Right. Well, we just had a podcast on this, right?
We did.
And actually, the statistics play out that as you get older, higher percentage of people like just stop looking. So I forgot what the percentages were, Joe. People over the age of 60, like maybe half were single
Hmm.
and half were single looking. And then after you get over 65, it drops down to like 29%
Something
are
like that.
looking.
Yeah, I have to go back in the library and find
So
that.
yeah, but
Yeah.
I think it was around that.
You know what I think is the most difficult for me? I've always been a very independent person. I've built my home, I've designed it for me and my kids, and trying to see if I can fit somebody else into my lifestyle. I don't know. It just seems challenging.
Well, just build one of those tiny houses next to your house, and they can stay there.
No, we
Yeah,
also had another
that's not a bad
episode about
idea.
that. Remember living apart together,
Yes.
which is a trend.
I like it.
So you have these committed relationships, but you maintain your own homes, you maintain your own family, traditions, and then you come together in a planned way, right? And you navigate life together, but you have your own homes.
See that I like, and I think that's probably a trend that that we will see much more of.
Next question. Complete this sentence. You know you're 60 plus when?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Isn't it?
So many different things I could say.
What was the first thing that popped in your head?
Pain, total knee replacement,
Oh,
We can totally relate to that.
arthritis.
yeah.
I know. I don't mean to
What a
sound so
buzzkill.
negative. And I'm not discouraging anybody. I'm just saying that
It's a reality.
it is, when you've been so active and all of a sudden, the activity has to slow down to something else, and you have to kind of switch gears on how you do things and what you do.
Does it really have to slow down, or can it just change into something else?
It changes. I used to be a runner.
Mhm.
And then I ended up having knee problems, had a total knee replacement, and I had to get rid of my treadmill. So what did I do? I got a water rower, and I absolutely love it. And it still gives me strength training. It gives me, a little bit of cardio. And so I use that now. But I also have a dog. So I walk my dog a lot. I bike ride, try to get it all in.
Now that you're in your 60s, do you do anything differently? We kind of covered some of this, but what's one big thing other than the change in exercise regimen?
I plan my time better. I say no more often.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I think when you're young and you're, moving up in your career path, you are willing to do so much more. And at this age, I don't have to.
I just had a conversation with a cousin of mine who's almost my age last night. And we talked about how getting to this age gives you so much more freedom in what you can say and what you can do. You can just say to somebody, well, no, I'm not going to do that. Or,
Well, you might not want to say it that way. No.
And bringing that up, and we do say things more directly.
Yeah, it's
that was
true.
the next thing I was going to say. He was
Yes.
talking. He works for a big, large tech company, and he said he's in meetings, and people will say, "So what you're saying is," and he'll say, "No, what I'm saying is the words I just said, not the words that you think I said."
Right. Exactly.
Be more direct.
And confident.
Yeah, I keep on thinking I'm going to get fired because I'm so direct lately. It's like,
Well, are you
that
trying?
doesn't make any sense.
Are you trying
Why
to?
are we doing that way?
That may be the motive there. Yeah. I think sometimes we kind of go, well, you know what? I'm looking at retirement. How many years and do I really want to be doing this?
I think it would be better if I was let go, let alone fired.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Result is the same, Janet.
Right.
It
Yeah.
exactly is.
Yeah. So, what do you think is the funniest thing about being 60 plus?
I think when I look in the mirror and I think, wow, you've changed a lot. And, you see different aspects of a face that you knew a long time ago. It changed.
Hmm. I look in the mirror in the morning and I see my father. and I-
Oh, me too. My mother, not my father, my mother. Yes.
That happened to me when I looked down at my legs.
Your mother's or your father's?
Mom! A little bit of both.
the first time it happened, I was just like, when did that happen? It doesn't happen overnight, but you notice it overnight.
Feels like it's overnight. Yeah.
It really does. The other thing is, I look at the back of my hands.
Oh, those spots.
Mm.
I
Oh,
don't
the
have
wrinkles?
spots.
The
No, I'm
wrinkles?
fortunate that I don't have the skin that doesn't
Yeah,
like
the wrinkles.
rebound.
Yeah, yeah. I agree.
Janet's looking at
The
her
good
hands.
news is that you can get blood more easily now.
It's I had occasion to look at some old photographs recently, and it's like, who's that guy?
Scary, isn't it?
That old guy.
Scary.
No. Who's that young guy
Oh,
from
with
old
all the
photographs.
brown hair?
Well, do you ever look at current photographs and go, oh my God, I am in total denial?
Yes, all the time. I think that's the humorous part of my morning.
Please tell me that's just a bad photograph.
I love my bathroom mirror because it shows me in a very different light. Then I go into a retail store and I look and go, oh,
Yeah, that fluorescent light is a killer. That fluorescent light highlights all the sins.
yeah.
So the nice thing about the bathroom mirror is, first of all, look into it after you've come out of the shower and it's all steamed up. You look great.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
And then for every year that you get older, you step 1 inch further away and you still look great. Those are my tricks.
Only 1 inch away, huh? It's
So
just
you're-
your
so you're-
eyesight's getting bad.
For every year.
You're 5 feet away from the mirror.
No, I'm standing outside.
Objects in the mirror are closer than they appear.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right. So we like to bust myths about being 60 plus. Is there any myth about being 60 plus that you would like us to bust?
Oh, wow. That's a really broad question.
Mhm.
That retirement is going to be everything you thought it would be.
Mm.
How so?
Well, because I think when we're younger and we're really not thinking about retirement, we're thinking that, oh, I'm going to have so much time on my hands. I'm going to be able to travel. I'm going to be able to do this and do that and renovate the house. And then you get there and it's a completely different story. It may not be everything you were hoping it would be. So I think sometimes we have to be a little bit more flexible in
Mhm.
our thinking.
Which goes right along with being 60 plus.
Right.
Yes.
Flexibility
So
and
flexible.
Yeah.
Right.
No, that's not happening.
No.
Yeah. I don't know. It's hard. I think retirement sounds good when you're young, but when you get closer, it can be very panicking.
Yeah.
we talked about this.
Yeah, we had a series on retirement, and one was about sort of the
The social, emotional
emotional
elements.
aspects of it. And then we had a guest speaker who talked about the financial aspects of it. And actually, the first thing he said was, when preparing for retirement, was understand the emotional aspects of it and make sure that you have a really good support, good people around you, solid relationships before you even got to the financial part of it. So it was really interesting. And he also was talking, I think we did some research on this. We were talking about the different phases of retirement. And like the first year, you're like, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and I do this. And then the second year, you're like, what am I going to do now? And then you go through these different phases.
I had a friend that retired fairly young, and he was a couple years into it, and he's like, Joe, there's only so many rounds of golf I can play. It's like, what am I going to do with all my time?
Mhm.
He's actually busier now with some of his volunteer work. If you think you're just going to play golf and go fishing and sit on the couch, it's not a plan. So,
Yeah.
so retirement may not be everything that you hope it will be.
Or just I think educate yourself. Just like I tell my daughter now, put away every penny you can because
Great advice.
just put away, because by the time they get there, they may not even have any support through Social Security or whatever.
Mhm.
So put away every penny you can, and so then you'll be financially able.
To do what you want to do. Yeah.
Exactly. I look forward to retirement. I really do.
So when is the retirement party?
May 25th. You want to join us?
Sure. Where's it going to be? And do I have to bring a gift?
Don't tell anybody
Yeah.
where it's going to
No.
be.
Can't tell you where it's going to be. No.
Undisclosed location.
Yeah.
Is
But
it at a house or?
it's at a local establishment.
Okay.
But what I want to add, I don't want to be so negative about retirement. Yeah, I agree, Janet. You have to have a network, and I have been putting together my network. I love where I live, my neighbors, my friends, and I can get more involved in the community. I can volunteer, or I can look for a part-time job, and that's exactly what I've been doing. So I feel confident that I have a plan
Yay.
Very
moving
good.
forward.
Very good. I think you're up, Janet.
Okay, so what advice would you give to someone who is just about to turn 60 plus?
Just enjoy. I mean, you've worked hard. You should be living life. You should be enjoying whatever you can. I mean, this is an opportunity where, we don't have to follow all the rules.
Mm-hmm.
We can veer off course a little bit. Enjoy.
Yeah, I like that.
For many people, you followed the rules all the way through, right? You got up, you went to work, you did the family thing, you bought the house, you paid the mortgage, you did all that. Enjoy yourself a little bit. In some ways, there's less responsibility as you get older. The kids are off. Hopefully, you're more secure in your financial situation. Enjoy it.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
You had mentioned it earlier, but time to get back to it. Do you have a bucket list?
I do. I'd like to, I have 3 books I'm working on: children's book, a memoir, and then that great American novel. So even if I never get them published, I want to finish them. I want to complete them. And part of that journey would be in Italy.
She's going to Italy.
I know.
Swap out. I
I'm gonna
love.
see if I can hide in the suitcase.
Yeah, I love Italy, and
Or at least go over and visit.
it's been the last time I went, it's been a manifestation for me. We were in Cinque Terre, and
Oh, beautiful.
I love Cinque Terre. And I found when we got back, I kind of researched what houses were for sale, what were they selling for. This is a long time ago. And there was this little chalet in the mountainside and 129,000 euros. And I thought,
Wow.
that's affordable.
Mhm.
And I used to keep that photo of all the rooms on my refrigerator. And every day, or even at night, I'd be getting ready for bed and I'd lay down and I'd start dreaming about cooking the pasta and the meatballs and the sauce, and the fire was, roaring in the fireplace. So, those are the dreams. If I get back there, I get back there.
Are you going to go after you retire? Italy?
I would like to try to swap my house.
So have someone from Italy come and stay at your, so
Yes.
like an exchange program.
Yes.
Are there programs like that?
Yes.
Wow.
I know, right? I'm like, ooh, I like the sounds of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I may not get exactly what I'm looking for, and they may not either, but it's a great way. I mean, if I go, I want to go for a month at least. So,
Are you the kind of person when you travel like that, you dive into the local culture, or are you a sightseer and a tourist?
no, I've done my fair share of sightseeing and being a tourist. That's why I'd like to go for at least a month. I want to dive into a local little town and really get to know the culture.
And the food.
Oh, absolutely, the food.
That sounds amazing.
Mm.
Thank you so much for coming today.
Yep.
And it was great talking to you about your life after 60. Congratulations on your retirement.
Look for
Thank
Kim's
you.
retirement gift registry online.
Yes, I'll be waiting for the
Fund her
invitation.
Italy trip.
And
Thank you.
more importantly, I'll be waiting for the invitation to Italy.
Italy. Got it. Okay. This was very nice. Thank you both for having me, and I'm glad I could do this.
You're more
Yeah.
than welcome. As I've been saying in recent weeks, if you like what you're hearing on 60 Plus Podcast, share it with a friend. If you don't like it, share it with them anyway. Hopefully you find what we do here interesting and entertaining and maybe informative. I don't know, sometimes.
Absolutely.
You can always reach out to us at our email address. It's 60pluspodcast@gmail.com. So that's 60, and the rest is spelled out, 60pluspodcast@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook and
Follow us on Spotify.
Instagram. Follow us on Spotify. All those things.
Apple and everywhere.
Until next week, I'm Joe.
And I'm Janet. Bye.